much, and we'll just get right into it. And we'll go back to the last fight that you had in October, and your first fight that went to a unanimous decision over Nashawn Burrell. How did it feel to go 3 full rounds? You know, a lot of like, oh, how was Page after the first round? I thought you showed a lot of mettle, showing that you can go 3 rounds, and you quieted some of those critics.
Yeah, 100%. There's good points and there's bad points. So I think if I went 3 rounds and I had a bit of a war, I'd have felt a bit better than just going 3 rounds with somebody just acting like I'm their clothes peg and hanging on me.
Were you surprised that he stayed the full 3 rounds? Because you pretty much controlled the fight. Were you shocked he was able to stay there with you, or was that something you were expecting?
No, I don't. The guy, he's a very tough fighter. I didn't expect him to just fold over at all. But I did expect more than what he did show in that fight. And like I said, to be fair, if he went the 3 rounds and I did a bit more of what I know I could do, I still would have been I would have been more satisfied. Again, for me, it's not about just stopping my opponent. It's about me fighting well. And I think I could have done a bit more to achieve that and fight a lot better.
If you had to give yourself a grade, how would you grade yourself?
For that fight?
For that fight, yeah.
3.
Ooh, so you give yourself a C.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What do you feel you need to do to get to an A? To get to, on a scale of 1 to 5, to be a 5? What do you feel that you need to do to get to that level?
Well, in that fight, like I said, he should have got hit a lot more than he actually did. Even with him trying to, spending a lot of time hanging on me, I should have been able to create more space and be a bit more dominant than I actually was. But yeah, I think that if I made it a bit more uncomfortable for him, which I know I can do because I do it in the gym all the time, if I made it a bit more uncomfortable for him in close, again, he would have been a lot more beaten up than he was.
Now, heading into this fight and, finding out your opponent was Curtis MIllender, what do you know about Curtis?
I feel I know enough to beat him in this fight. I don't really need to know too much more. I know he's a general style, and he likes to stand. The majority of his wins have gone the distance, and I just know enough to win.
Do you watch film on your opponent, or do you let your camp watch film and then they fill you in on the holes that you need to capitalize on during the fight?
Yeah, like my coaches do the majority of the watching. My opponent just, the specific named opponent just turns into exactly that. Like when I'm training, I'm just fighting a style. My coach is like, yeah, your opponent likes to do this, your opponent likes to do that, and that's all I'm working on. Usually watch a couple of fights just to put a face to the name. And then that's it. I usually watch them again when I get out there in America. I usually watch a couple of more fights while I'm out there just to refresh what my coaches are saying, and that's it. And I go for it from there.
Now, are you in the United States right now, or are you still out in England?
Oh yeah, no, I'm still over here, still getting a lot of work done.
Now, when will you come here?
I'm gonna be flying over next week, Tuesday.
Okay, now, have you ever thought about coming here early to get acclimated to the time difference, or are you always going to stick to that plan for now to come out about 3-4 days before the fight?
Yeah, when if you guys are fighting in a place that's a bit hotter, then I'll probably come out just before. But I checked and it was -19. That's not a place I want to be coming there early for.
I don't blame you. I'm in Chicago, and right now it's about 0 degrees, so I can more than understand. And what's the temperature out in England?
Yeah.
What's
Sorry? It's about what is it now? It's still pretty cold over here at the moment, but it's nowhere near that level.
Let's talk about England. I mean, the basis of the card is British invasion, and What do you make of right now the scene of MMA in England? You got Michael Bisping, Paul Daly's always been a staple. We're starting to see yourself. You got Ireland, you got Conor McGregor. How do you feel the scene right now is in England regarding mixed martial arts?
I think we're improving massively. I think we're starting to show the world that we're a force to be reckoned with. It's not just all American and Brazil anymore. They actually have to start worrying about guys over here, and I think it's just a tribute to the UK coaching and the stabilities that are coming out now.
Do you think it could ever get? I know soccer is really popular out there, and I know rugby is as well. And can MMA get? I'm not saying it can never surpass soccer. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world, but can MMA get to where rugby is and get somewhere near the level of soccer?
I think when fighters are able to get paid a bit more, than possibly, but because right now, even for an American sport, we're very underpaid, and for the amount that we have to do to our bodies, we need a lot more support to improve. It's going to improve the fighting style, which would improve the viewers that you get, and then obviously the more viewers, then the more we can do. So it's difficult. It won't. I don't think it will be as big right now with the way it's being run, but possibly in future. This is one of my goals. I want to make sure that I'm so entertaining that I drag more numbers into the sport, which also helps the sport grow.
Is it all about just the fighters getting more money, or is it, if you were running an MMA promotion, how would you get the promotion to make more money?
Again, it is difficult. It's no easy job, and I'm not blaming anybody specifically. But they, like I said, they need to. Well, camps need to be getting more money to help the fighters stay in shape. And obviously, you have to. Everyone. It's hard because, especially over here, everyone wants to be an MMA fighter, and they don't. Sometimes I feel people don't take it quite seriously enough. But I think if there was levels to it, and it was maybe brought into, especially over here, into like a school level or even like an amateur level, and you can build up and people can understand it a bit more. I think it's just educating people, so they don't believe it's just something brutal. They do consider it a sport.
Where do you feel MMA is in terms of the world landscape? Where do you consider mixed martial arts in terms of popularity? I think we're definitely I believe we're at the bottom of the food chain. In that sense, I think we still have a long way to go. I just think the stigma attached to it is still of like I said, it's a bit animalistic for some people. And again, it's just because they don't really understand what's actually happening, or don't understand the work or the training that we have to put into to actually become into or class yourself as an MMA fighter. So I think it's definitely at the bottom of the food chain, and we just need more. We need to help push and educate people a lot more. You've been brought along at a pretty good pace. And I've seen interviews with you. You said you don't want to be fast tracked. You want to be in your camp. I've heard your camp say that as well. You want to be brought along at a good pace. Are you wanting with the victory on Friday? Next Friday? Do you want a little bit more of a step up, or do you like the track that you're on, and you'll eventually get the big fights?
Yeah, I think my style is a style that people want to see, or whether negative reasons or positive reasons. I've got many people that they want to see my head. They want to see someone come back with my head. And there's many people that they want me to continue doing what I'm doing. So all I have to do is continue on how I'm going, and you will see me in the big fights. But I'm in no rush. I believe I'm young enough to get to the place I want to get to in good time and do it really well.
When do you want to fight for the world title? Because it seems undefeated. You're on a really good streak here. in your mind and in your team's mind, when do you want to compete for the world championship?
Again, it's not really a case of like specific time. It's more a case of how I'm feeling and how I'm performing in the gym. And this is the thing, a lot of people, obviously everyone can only really go by what they see when I'm out in the cage, which so far so good. It's been exactly what I want it to be. But it's about my performances. You know, when I'm not in the when I'm in the gym and you guys can't see me, it's behind the scenes. Once I'm comfortable, you know, doing what I'm doing, I'm consistently doing everything correct. Then and only then is when I want to kind of go start targeting big names.
I just finished watching the video that you did with Wow TV out in England, and you said you were 20%. You needed 20% more of things there, and you're 80% there, and you got another 20% to go. What is that 20% in your mind?
The extra 20% is being able to hang with the absolute best fighters around the world. And I'm to be fair, that's the wrong way of saying it. It's not even to hang with them, to do exactly what I'm doing to my opponents now, to that level of fighter. And I don't believe I'm quite there yet. And I think it is that last 20% where I need to flow a lot quicker. I need to be that much fitter, be that much stronger, be that much more technical, where I'd be able to continue doing the same things I'm doing and to those high level fighters.
Now, I watch your fights, and everyone says, "Oh, the way you move in the cage, oh, it's like Anderson Silva." To me, you remind me of Jon Jones. You know, you guys are young. You know, John was brought up like, you know, at a good pace early in his career as you are right now. And do you think you're the Bellator version of Jon Jones?
I understand what you're saying with regards to, you know, how Jon Jones started and how young he was and obviously the ways he started to create. But no, I believe, again, I just feel like I'm a different person altogether. Because again, the Anderson Silvas and the Jon Jones, they're amazing fighters, but I feel like I can just offer just a different dynamic and be completely different to both of them.
You know,
but just as good.
A big thing going on right now in the sport is, you know, performance enhancing drugs, World Series of Fighting, the UFC, Bellator had a little bit of an issue with that last year. What would you do to combat the problem of performance enhancing drugs in MMA?
Sorry, say that again. What would I do to what?
What would you do to, you know, help the problem? What do you think needs to be done to make sure guys aren't cheating in the fights?
Yeah, I guess obviously more checks, and I think that's obviously what they're doing. This is why that's probably why they're finding so many figuring so many people out. But so yeah, I guess more checks. But and also set an example. Like for myself to just continue doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Check me anytime. You can check me the day of the fight, day before. I don't care when you check me. You're never going to find anything because it's never something that I'm ever going to use or ever need to use. And just set an example to everybody.
Do you think you faced guys that were on steroids or performance-enhancing drugs in your fights?
Do you think I've had any guys?
No, do you think guys you faced in the cage, do you think they've been on steroids?
So far, I don't believe so. Or that it didn't kick in fast enough for them to use it.
I like that. I like that answer. I haven't heard that answer yet, so I do like that one. And just looking at the card, you know, you fought 2 times in 2014. How many times do you want to fight in 2015? Because you're fighting pretty early here this year.
Yeah. Hopefully I get, my aim is 4 fights. I really want to get at least 4 fights in this year, if not more. So, yeah, the aim, I think the minimum amount I want to do is 4. And if I can get more in, then, you know, and I'm feeling good and I'm fit and everything, and then, yeah, I'll do more. 2
more questions, Michael, and thank you so much for the time today. And I know your background. The background before you came into MMA was you were in kickboxing. You still teach it out in England. And have you thought about going the route of Joe Schilling and doing MMA and doing kickboxing for glory, or do you just want to stick to MMA?
Yeah, right now I'm enjoying my MMA so much, and kickboxing. To be fair, the kickboxing just reminds me of where I came from, and I don't like taking back steps. It's not a back step. Obviously, there's amazing talent in kickboxing, but for me personally, it's something that I feel like I've done already. I know it's not exactly the same, but it's still kickboxing, and I just want to focus on keep my focus in one place and build up. But if there's an opportunity that comes later on, things do change. But right now, my mindset is just focusing on the MMA.
When you envision the fight next Friday night against Curtis MIllender, how do you see the fight playing out?
I see me throwing a couple of punches, softening him up, and then throwing another punch and putting him to sleep.
First round, second round, third round?
For me, it's weird because all the ones where I've won, in the first round, I didn't actually expect to do it. So, for me, my goals are always the second round. Like I said, I usually try to feel my opponent out. Sometimes it happens a lot quicker than I expected, but my goal is always the same. Feel my opponent out in that first round, see what he's wanting to try and go for, soften him up with shots, and then it's the second round where I feel like I've got the timing and so on and so forth, and I finish him. But if that happens earlier on, it's going to be the first round. But if not, and I'm going for my normal plan, it's going to be the second round.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for the time today, and the best of luck next Friday night.
Thank you very much. No problem, man. Take care.
Thank you. You too. And that was Michael Venom Page. He will be competing at Bellator 134 next Friday night on February the 27th from the Mohegan Sun in Utica, Vassal, Connecticut. Liam McGeary, Emmanuel Newton for the Bellator light heavyweight title will be on the line in the headliner. Bellator 134 British Invasion. This article will be up soon on sportingnews.com. This is Stephen Mielhaus.